Have you ever started your car without thinking twice? Most of us do. But a few small mistakes during startup can quietly destroy your engine, kill your battery, or wreck your transmission. These bad habits are more common than you think, and they're costing drivers thousands in repairs every year. From overcranking to skipping crucial checks, here are 10 car starting mistakes you should never make. Let's dive in and protect your ride. 1. Starting your car with the accelerator pressed. Pressing the accelerator while starting your car might feel like an old-school trick to help the engine turn over faster, especially if you've driven older vehicles. But with modern cars, this habit can do more harm than good. Today's fuel-injected engines are designed to manage fuel and air automatically during startup. When you press the gas pedal while turning the key, you're sending unnecessary fuel into the combustion chamber, which can flood the engine and cause rough starts or misfires. Worse yet, forcing extra fuel during ignition puts stress on your spark plugs, cylinders, and exhaust system. Over time, this extra strain can cause premature wear or lead to carbon buildup, reducing performance and fuel efficiency. In colder weather, the damage can be even more pronounced since cold engines are more sensitive to fuel-air imbalance. On top of that, if your car has a drive-by-wire system, which most modern vehicles do, pressing the gas pedal during startup can confuse the electronic throttle control. The fix is simple. Keep your foot off the gas. Let the car's onboard computer handle the start. It's built to do just that. You'll help your car start more smoothly, reduce long-term engine wear, and save yourself from unnecessary repairs. 2. Turning the key too quickly. Starting your car might seem as simple as turning the key or pushing a button. But how you do it matters more than most people think. One surprisingly common mistake is turning the key too quickly through the ignition stages without letting the systems properly activate. In older and even many newer vehicles with a key ignition, there's a brief moment where you should pause at the on position before turning fully to start. Why? Because that pause allows your car's electronic systems, like the fuel pump, sensors, and ignition coil, to power up and run essential pre-start diagnostics. Skipping that moment by rushing straight to the start position can result in a rough start or failure to start entirely, especially in colder weather or with a weaker battery. In some vehicles, it can even lead to unnecessary stress on the starter motor and electrical components. Modern cars are equipped with complex electronics that rely on proper timing. When you rush the process, you risk overwhelming those systems or not giving them the time to engage correctly. Over time, this can lead to degraded fuel efficiency, sensor errors, or battery drain. The good news? The solution is simple and costs you nothing. Just turn the key to the on position. Wait 2 or 3 seconds for your dashboard lights to illuminate, and then proceed to start the engine. This small adjustment can significantly reduce wear and tear on your car's electrical and ignition systems, improve startup performance, and extend your vehicle's reliability in the long run. 3. Ignoring the check engine light before starting. One of the most common and costly mistakes car owners make is ignoring the check engine light before starting their vehicle. You get into your car, and that pesky little light is on. But you figure it's probably nothing, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. The check engine light is your vehicle's way of telling you something isn't quite right under the hood, and ignoring it could lead to serious issues. When the check engine light comes on, it's usually indicating a problem with the engine or emission system. It could be something minor like a loose gas cap, but it could also point to a major issue such as a failing catalytic converter, a malfunctioning oxygen sensor, or even a misfiring engine. If left unchecked, these problems can snowball into much larger and more expensive repairs. The key here is to get the issue diagnosed as soon as possible. Modern vehicles are equipped with an onboard diagnostic system, OBD2, that can provide error codes, pinpointing the exact cause of the light. This can help you determine whether it's something you can fix yourself or if you need a mechanic's expertise. Continuing to drive with the check engine light on can lead to poor fuel efficiency, decreased engine performance, or even cause further damage that might leave you stranded on the side of the road. So, before you dismiss that little warning light, take a moment to get your vehicle checked. It could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the long run. Trust me, your car will thank you for it. 4. Starting the car while the engine is still hot. We've all been in a rush at some point, whether it's running late for work or an appointment. But if you're in the habit of starting your car right after driving it, you might be causing harm to your engine. Starting a hot engine can lead to wear and tear that shortens its lifespan. When the engine is hot, the internal components have expanded due to heat. If you start the car too soon, you're forcing the engine to run under stress. This strain can cause excessive wear on parts like pistons, cylinders, and bearings, which may lead to misfires or more serious damage over time. In the long run, this can result in expensive repairs. Additionally, the oil inside a hot engine is thinner and doesn't lubricate as effectively. Thin oil can't protect the engine components from friction, as well as thicker, cooler oil, which can lead to increased wear and tear or even engine failure if the oil isn't circulating properly. To avoid these issues, allow your engine to cool down for a minute or two before turning it off after a long drive. This lets the engine components gradually adjust to a cooler state, preventing sudden stress. Taking a few extra moments to let your engine cool can save you significant money on repairs down the road. It's a small habit that could extend the life of your engine and keep your vehicle running smoothly for years to come. So don't rush your car. It'll thank you later. 5. Starting your car without fully releasing the parking brake. It's an easy mistake to make, especially when you're in a rush. You hop in, start the engine, and off you go, only to realize later that you didn't fully release the parking brake. While it might not seem like a big deal, this small oversight can lead to serious problems over time. When you drive with the parking brake still engaged, even partially, it causes unnecessary strain on your brake system. The friction between the brake pads and the rotor generates heat, which can lead to premature wear and tear. Over time, this can cause your brake pads to wear down much faster than they should, increasing the cost of replacements. In addition to the brakes, the extra load on the vehicle can also affect the transmission. The parking brake is designed to hold the car in place when it's stationary, and when you try to drive with it engaged, the system has to work harder to move the car, which can lead to excessive wear on the transmission. This added stress can also result in overheating, potentially causing lasting damage. Another issue is the possibility of reduced performance. When the parking brake is even slightly engaged, it can drag on the car, making it harder for the engine to run efficiently. So, before you drive off, always double-check that the parking brake is fully released. It's a small habit that can help preserve your brake and transmission systems and keep your car running smoothly for years to come. 6. Cranking the engine for too long. It's a common reaction. You turn the key, hear the engine sputter, and instinctively keep cranking, hoping it'll start. But cranking the engine for too long is a mistake that could cause unnecessary damage to your car's components. When you crank the engine for an extended period, you're putting unnecessary strain on the starter motor and the battery. The starter motor is designed for short bursts of energy to get the engine going, but keeping it engaged for too long can overheat the motor, leading to costly repairs or even complete failure. On top of that, the battery can lose its charge more quickly, making it harder to start your car the next time. Additionally, repeated long cranking attempts can flood the engine, especially if the problem lies with the fuel system or spark plugs. Fuel can build up in the engine, making it harder for the engine to ignite. This not only wastes fuel, but can also cause issues like misfires or engine damage over time. If your car doesn't start after a few attempts, it's better to stop and assess the situation. Check the fuel, battery, or consider calling for a mechanic rather than continuing to crank the engine. It's always better to troubleshoot or seek professional help than to risk damaging your car's essential systems. 7. Starting the car after letting it sit for too long. Leaving your car parked for weeks or months can sometimes be unavoidable. But starting it up after it's been sitting idle for an extended period can cause some issues if you're not careful. When a car sits unused for too long, the oil and other fluids can settle, causing inadequate lubrication for the engine's moving parts. Starting the engine without giving it time to properly circulate these fluids can lead to unnecessary wear, especially on critical components like the pistons and bearings. Another problem is that fuel can degrade over time, especially if the car has been sitting for months. Old fuel can cause issues with the fuel injectors, clogging them and making it harder for the engine to run smoothly. This could result in poor engine performance or even cause the engine to stall. To avoid these issues, it's important to give your car a quick inspection before starting it up after a long period of inactivity. Check the fluid levels, ensure the battery is charged, and consider adding a fuel stabilizer if you know the car will be sitting for an extended period. If possible, let the engine idle for a few minutes to allow the fluids to circulate and the components to warm up gradually. This extra care can help prevent damage and ensure your car runs smoothly when you're ready to hit the road again. 8. Not letting the glow plugs warm up, diesel engines. If you drive a diesel vehicle, you've likely seen the glow plug light on your dashboard. While it might seem like a minor indicator, ignoring it can lead to significant problems, especially if you start the engine before allowing the glow plugs to warm up. Glow plugs are essential for diesel engines, particularly in cold weather. They heat the combustion chambers to ensure proper fuel ignition when you start the engine. Starting the engine before the glow plugs are fully warmed up can cause inefficient fuel combustion, leading to rough idling, excess smoke, and poor performance. Skipping the warm-up process regularly can also damage the glow plugs themselves. Over time, this can cause them to burn out prematurely, leading to costly repairs and reduced engine efficiency. Diesel engines require precise conditions to start and run smoothly, and rushing the process adds unnecessary stress on the engine and its components. To prevent these issues, always wait for the glow plug light to turn off before starting your diesel vehicle. This small habit ensures optimal engine performance, reduces wear on the glow plugs, and helps your engine run efficiently for a longer period. Taking a few extra seconds to let the glow plugs warm up can save you from costly repairs down the line and ensure your diesel engine operates at its best. 9. Attempting to start the car multiple times in a row. We've all been in a rush, trying to start the car and getting frustrated when it doesn't turn over. But repeatedly attempting to start your car can cause more harm than good. When the engine refuses to start, it's usually due to an issue like a dead battery, a faulty fuel pump, or ignition problems. Continuously trying to start the car puts unnecessary strain on both the battery and starter motor. Overloading the starter motor can cause it to overheat, leading to a complete failure. Meanwhile, the battery's charge drains more quickly, making it even harder to start the car on subsequent attempts. Additionally, cranking the engine too many times can flood it with fuel, especially if the problem lies with the fuel system. This makes it even harder for the engine to start, potentially causing long-term damage to the system. If your car doesn't start after a couple of attempts, it's best to pause and evaluate the situation. Check the battery, fuel system, and spark plugs before trying again. If the problem persists, calling for a mechanic or roadside assistance is a smarter choice. Avoiding repeated starting attempts will save you time, conserve your battery, and help prevent further damage to your vehicle. So, if your car isn't starting, take a moment to assess the issue rather than repeatedly cranking the engine. It's a small step that can save you money and avoid unnecessary repairs. 10. Starting the car in gear, manual transmission. When you're in a hurry or distracted, it might be tempting to just hop in your manual transmission car and start it up without checking if it's in gear. However, starting your car in gear can lead to some serious problems that could cause harm to both your car and you. When you start a car that's in gear, it immediately begins to move forward or backward, depending on the direction of the gear. This can cause a jerking motion that might damage the engine, transmission, or even the clutch. If the car is parked on a hill or in an unstable position, this sudden movement can be dangerous, potentially causing an accident or damaging other vehicles around you. Additionally, starting a car in gear puts unnecessary strain on the starter motor. The motor is designed to turn the engine over, but when the car is in gear, it has to move the entire drivetrain. This can lead to premature wear on the starter motor, making it. To avoid these issues, always make sure your manual transmission car is in neutral before starting it. It's a simple habit that can prevent damage to your vehicle and ensure your safety, saving you from costly repairs and unnecessary stress. Taking a moment to double-check the gear position could save you time, money, and headaches down the road. Thanks for tuning in. By avoiding these common car mistakes, you can save yourself from costly repairs and keep your vehicle running smoothly for years to come. Remember, a little bit of extra care goes a long way in maintaining your car's health. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more car hacks and maintenance tips. Have any questions or suggestions? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay safe on the road and take care of your car.